Jeez. All right. So, inside of the staff announcements, uh, you guys can see that we have
Your
the
channel was edited.
Phase White 8, what's new FAQ. Weapon, you are slightly picking me back up, and it's making my head hurt. um, so, if you guys have looked at that doc, read it, essentially you can put two and two together. We are eating Phase White. Or not eating Phase White. We're eating BCT, and it is becoming Phase White. Um, we are using our big brains, and we have decided that it is kind of pointless for everyone to be sitting around waiting for a random, fun, awesome uh, UTC orientation on a Friday, and we have just thrown all of that shit out of the window, decided to incorporate BCT into us so a clear chain of command can be established for BCT and for the cadets, so it's not necessarily playing a hot potato between BCT to us to Zeta and all this other nonsense. So we're going to clear it up a little bit for them, make it easier. Um, and then the main reason why we have scheduled the meeting for today at this time is because, ta-da! This is when we are going to
User was
be
moved to your channel.
holding all of the new phase white, which is essentially any BCT that the unit will have. This is essentially what we are going to be doing. Uh, we are going to be running them on Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern, and as soon as they are done with us or with phase white, they will immediately be slotted into UTC. So we completely get rid of this nonsense of having to wait for people to join us or to get into UTC,
User
and
was
we
moved to
lose
your channel.
people in limbo. This is completely
User
designed to
disconnected
get rid of
from your
that.
channel.
So the quicker that we can get these guys through phase white / BCT into UTC and get them out, we will significantly reduce their wait times of having to get fully integrated into the unit, which is a absolutely huge deal. I can't count how many people we've lost over the past 4 or 5 months just because they've gotten bored of waiting for UTC to happen. So this is mainly
Microphone
what this is
muted.
for. So other than that, I'm going to let Bridger and or Smiley start taking all this fun stuff away. If you guys have any questions, please put in PTS and we will get to them. This is y'all's time to get all of your questions out of your system and for us to really break everything down so we can all understand how this is going to go forward. So, Bridger or Smiley.
Well, Job kind of hit the nail on some of the bigger things regarding Phase White. It's really pretty simple. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them, and we'll do our best to answer them.
Yeah, no, what he said, unless it's very cut and dry and whatnot. Bandit, go ahead, my friend.
Yeah, so how exactly do you plan on absorbing the current BCT staff and kind of getting them integrated into UTC? Are they just going to be focused on phase white then, or are they going to be part of the bigger UTC picture as well?
Yeah, that's a great question, man. I'll take this one, Smiley. That's a great question. First and foremost, as you might have noticed, the current structure of UTC as of now is we are primarily broken up into two groups of instructors. The main body of instructors covers phases green and phases red, and that's just a standard class cycle through Mount. And then we also have a team of phase blue instructors that handles final evaluation. Phase white is going to be much in the realm of phase blue, where they have their own independent set of instructors that works on introduction or initial introduction into the unit, essentially just as BCT's function was to give them enough knowledge to essentially go into a fun op for the first time. A lot of these guys, I think some people in this unit, build a PC just to play, this, believe it or not. So I've heard that several times before. Now, as far as integrating them, essentially we're grandfathering everybody in from BCT. They've already been spoken to. I see some of their lovely faces today. Hi, Duke.
Hi.
We are essentially, when we were going to first start out here, and we've kind of yet to discuss the logistics of how that'll work. That everybody will start out who's coming over as a phase white instructor, unless they applied this last period to become a junior. They'll be able to float in between, and that's kind of a special case. It's something that was a unique circumstance of them just not knowing that this was happening. So they'll probably cross over to that main body instructor side, but everyone in BCT will likely come over to that phase white instructor only. If there are opportunities down the line, to kind of cross between, I don't really have an answer for you as far as that. I'm sure that, if there is a need for that, or somebody wants to, come talk to Jub about that, I'm sure that, everything is negotiable, as I like to live by. So the matter of fact is now we are all in UTC. We're all under one chain of command. And this process is kind of come about as a result of there's a dwindling amount of people with availability to kind of help our new recruits. This is kind of an important job. A lot of people want to do this, be a part of training the next generation, but it comes with a considerable amount of responsibility. And that starts with us just being present and willing to share what we know and kind of be around people on a daily basis. Essentially, as far as that goes, and we'll continue doing this on a weekly basis. But as far as the actual BCT process, they have unfortunately yeed their last ha, and we will start be going by this Sunday schedule, and then everybody will go through, including the new junior instructors. But everybody will be going through a considerable amount of, well, not considerable, but we do have some workshops. That is a little bit of training just so you guys get up to speed on what exactly you will need in order to be ready to teach. And that is something that our chiefs will be holding, Smiley and myself included. So you'll get more info on that. We just wanted to make sure we onboarded everybody at the one time, and that's why we're meeting here today. Does that answer your question? I hope I went off on a tangent. I'm becoming...
Yeah, and it also kind of spawned another question here real quick. With the workshops, Ackley has operations on Sundays as well. And then for the two of us here, we also have leadership meeting at 3 p.m. EST. So it kind of conflicts with that time. Is there a way that, how would I go about completing that?
Our goal is to have phase white, the process itself, no longer than an hour. If you need to dip out early, or if you're, for example, if you're an ACLA or you're part of second platoon, you have leadership brief, you can dip out early. Totally fine. We're not going to hold you to that. Your platoon comes first. That's kind of common sense when you're not going to be penalized for that. But if you're here, you want to hang out and show up, at the very least, look at that. Arma's already loaded for you. You know what I mean? You don't have to wait that long. Especially if you do want to be, if you do want to be in a class, it gives you the opportunity. Kind of the thing that we're doing is we're inheriting the BCT server side type of thing. A lot of people get attached to this unit through face-to-face interactions, so you'll have the opportunity to meet your cadets face-to-face. First off, you do not have to continue on and start the UTC process after that, although you will have that option. It is not required. Say hi, give them some instructions, and then you are free to go off your briefing, or if you need to go sooner, you can do that. It is non-committal if you have, if you have that kind of commitment at the platoon level. And additionally, if you can't make it at all, obviously get in contact with Jub, and we'll figure something out for you and just kind of onboard without you there if you're scheduled for a class.
In terms of workshops, we're going to be hosting them based off of your attendance that you submitted, juniors, as well as when we're available. So that will be all throughout the week usually, and we'll probably start this week. So just be on the lookout for those.
Awesome. Thank you.
Alia.
First of all, excuse my voice. I think I caught the C19. Mine was more regarding the structure of what phase white's going to look like. I know you mentioned it's going to be very short. Does this mean we're doing away with the practical as it was known in BTC?
So
BCC, excuse me.
at this time, we're still hoping to have some sort of practical application in BCT. As it stands right now, we are currently in the process of getting a few kind of more BCT, or I should say phase white focused maps. And by that, I'm
I
talking
could
about a
answer his
Camino.
question. So there will be a practical in the end, but it's not going to be a regular operation or anything like that. It's just going to be a citadel. They can go through it in 10 minutes.
Fantastic. I'm happy to hear that. I lost a friend unit-wise because he didn't. I know it's because he very much didn't want to do the practical. I think it kind of burned him out early. So thank you. I appreciate it. I think that's a great fix.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Making sure. I was getting into that. So yeah, we're gonna be implementing a Camino map, hopefully. That's kind of geared towards phase white and offering practical solutions. So yeah. Hopefully that answers your question.
Ginger.
My question's more like on the recruiter side. So, for you know how when recruiters used to go on about scheduling that, should we ignore now mentioning the initial trainings and start saying Sundays at 2 p.m. will be training days, or what's going to happen with that part? Like,
So yeah.
Go ahead, Smiley, if you want.
Yeah. As far as we've talked a little bit with the recruiters, but yeah, well, our trainings are going to be weekly for phase white Sundays at 2 p.m. That said, we're still offering private initials. So if cadets can't make the time, they can get in contact with our phase white staff. And we're going to be taking over the channels on Discord and kind of restructuring them so they are now phase white and they'll be able to request there. But yeah, otherwise, yeah.
right, okay, so just answer that phase white on Sundays, and then also say that the private initial training is still going on. Okay, that's fine. Just wanted to check on that part. Just
We'll
in case,
we'll also be keeping the an announcement channel for them. We're going to be renaming it to phase white announcements. So the announcements are not going away. There'll be that extra layer of security for you on that end.
Cool. I just want to ask, like, what's happened with the recruiting side of things, like, with the whole like announcing it and re-announcing the BCT part as well, or no? But okay, cool. Thanks.
Choo-choo?
As far as the phase white citadel is concerned, is that still going to be a case of if you don't hit certain criteria, you fail the practical and you don't progress from phase white?
No.
We're getting rid of that.
No.
You cannot fail phase white now.
So it's just going to be more of a consideration like the mounts.
Correct.
Perfect.
It's gonna be on us. It's gonna be a lot of pass fail. I think the only way you can fail is going to be attitude based.
If they just die too much and to set it out, or they just actually go off and do something very ridiculous.
I would prefer to say here and now that, okay, if they die 7 times, you know what I mean, like over and over again and don't listen, and it's a result of their not having enough teamwork or whatever, we'll talk about it. But that's something that we're going to rely heavily on the instructors here to kind of coach them up on a UTC, and obviously they're never going to pass UTC if that problem persists. We're just pushing it further down the line and putting it into your hands, if that makes sense. As far as that, there should be no reason that they should be failing unless they break like a rule or like a racial slur is said or whatnot. So I hope that answers your question. We're also getting rid of the verbal test. So, yeah.
If I could add something to that, Richard,
Yeah. Hi, Odd.
Hi. Pretty much from what it's looking at, the Citadel is looking more like a benchmark than anything else. It's like take a look at what's going on, assess them in a way like, okay, here's what they're good at, here's what they can improve on, and then try to specialize on what they can specialize on that with going forth to UTC. So just bring it down the grapevine to whoever they're going to be their instructors and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like Bridget said, it's like only truly heinous things that happen would be like something you would fail in, but otherwise just use it as a benchmark, use it as a tool to help better them in their time in Arma.
Which is why it's thank you, Odd, by the way. Which is why it's all the important if you are scheduled to teach. It's that much important for you to be there on this day to actually sit and watch. And for some of the newer NCOs here, or some people that aspire to be NCOs, that's a skill that is going to help you out in the future. So, Arugula. Effort, that's your cue. You're leaving me hanging. Oh, there you are. Do regular instructors need to be present for phase white and orientation to take class, or is that more rare? Well, good question. Like I said, you don't have to be present. We'll work something out if that's the case, if you're scheduled. We're going to be putting you guys into, we're calling them instructor pools, just essentially groups that you're going to be assigned to a chief, and we're going to rotate. And it's going to be more regular, so you guys get more breaks and are not burned out too quick. But it will be enough where you get your fill of teaching. So you won't necessarily have to be there. It's more to your benefit if you're there. And then you can meet them obviously at the conclusion, start planning things, get them into the Discord and whatnot. If not, it's really no big deal. It just whenever you are able, you got to get on it quick. One of the things that I think we lose cadets and recruits the quickest on is when their instructor is not present for orientation, at least in the past, and they receive no instruction on where to go or any verbal instructions from their instructor, and then they just start vanishing into the ether. We cannot have that. We're in a state in the group here where we have a platoon, a platoon's plus worth of detachments that need filling, as well as some general infantry slots that will need to be replaced when that happens. We cannot afford to let people slip through the cracks because we're getting complacent. So as long as you are present and you're going to have a class and you have a message set up, you should be good. Gotcha. Well, it's on Sundays, so you won't have to worry about your Saturdays there. So it should be fine.
Regarding the psycho stuff that was being mentioned there, for those that have been most actively during when I'm your chief, you're very familiar with this. This is the system where all instructors are all cram packed, covering multiple hours, and able to work with an EU, US, and any time zone required. And it helps giving the cadets more of an opportunity for them to engage back and set their own times to try and collab together. And that means there's always a guaranteed instructor is the dream goal for those who've been with me in my cycles.
Awesome. So Sundays, if you can't, just let us know. That's all I ask. Rupert.
I know some people just can't make weekends or Saturdays or specific days. Is there any plan in the future to expand the days to other than just Saturday?
It's only Sundays.
Or Sundays, sorry.
And at this time, no. The reason that the time is central is that so we get everybody in every time zone that's available to make it at this given point in time. Unless we, have a need for that, we're not getting the volume of recruits that necessarily warrant a 2 times a week event. But we do have a lot of people here. We do have a lot of instructors, and we are going to have the necessary turnover to keep having classes move. Every 2 weeks or so, and have instructors come in and kind of work shifts essentially, which are going to be up to them. But at this time, no, just the one.
Gotcha. So
Are you meaning in terms of
phase white,
from
just
phase white to UTC? Like, what do we
no,
do
just
if
the
people...
actual initial training, to say, for lack of terms.
Okay, yeah. I was about to say, because generally whenever we hold the orientation itself on Friday, there's, always people that can't come. I don't think there's ever been a time since I've been at least assistant commandant and a chief instructor running the orientation. So we've never had like that. We've always had 100% attendance.
Yeah.
So if we have, a couple people not able to make it, we'll always be able to take care of these people because they're taking... Richard, are you angry at your keyboard?
No, don't
Oh,
touch
I'm sorry.
me, man.
Am I bothering you?
Beautiful
I'm sorry,
keyboard
Joe.
typing.
No, you're
You
good,
need
bro.
some time? Okay,
No,
that's fine.
my brain. No, you're good. But if they can't make the Sundays, then they always do the thing, with Aiden, or not with Aiden. Fuck me, I looked at Aiden's name with Bacon.
Gotcha.
So,
Yep,
if
that's
they
what I
can't
was
make
just
Sunday,
referring to.
yeah.
Just direct people towards private initial training at that point if they can't make the day.
Yeah, same as normal. If they can't make Tuesday, Thursday, we always told them to get in contact with private. So it's going to be the same way. If they can't make Sunday, they will get in contact with private, phase white, to get it done, and then there will be instructions for them to basically get in contact with me. So we keep track of them constantly. And so now we've made that process easier because now we're all under the same COC.
User
Bacon
disconnected
can
from your
literally just
channel.
be like, "Hey, Jub, I've got these 3 dudes coming." And I'm like, "All right, cool," and then we just go from there. So it'll be a lot easier in the long run because now there's, again, no more COC hot potato nonsense. Bacon just goes, "Hey, Jub, I got this going on."
Yep. Awesome. Thank you.
After Rupert, I think that's it. I think we're caught up. Bridger, Smiley, do you guys have any other things you guys want to touch on for the phase white?
Smiley?
I really we're pretty confident that this is something that's going to be really beneficial for the unit. We've been working with pretty much everyone that we can to make sure that our processes are streamlined as possible. So, if for any doubts that there may be, I'm sure that there aren't any, but we're pretty confident that this is going to work. And so, we just want to let you guys know, fill you in. And if you have any further questions about anything, please let me, Bridger, Jub, any of us, let us know, and then we'll be sure to clear it up. And more importantly, if you guys have any suggestions that we might not have seen or anything, please bring those up too, because we're always trying to improve. So, but yeah, other than that, I got nothing else.
Yeah. As far as I'm gonna go, I'm gonna kind of go over this a little bit when we do kind of the workshops for everybody new. But everybody here, I just want to reiterate to you guys, new cadets, new recruits meeting us is the first interaction they're gonna have with really anybody in the unit. This is a big responsibility. We kind of directly hold the future of the unit in our hands here, so it's important that when you're out there interacting with these guys, you are putting your best foot forward. You're teaching good habits. You're promoting togetherness and making it a good time for everybody involved. Kind of gone are the days where we are, you will call me instructor and I will be, we're not about that. I don't want to see that happening. Anybody who, feels differently, feel free, come talk to me. We'll have a nice conversation about that. But, it's up to us to kind of be that be that person, when you remember coming into the unit, you don't know anybody, you're trying to figure out where you are, and it kind of helped, when people wanted to be your friend. So just remember how you felt when that happened. This is probably the same way these guys are feeling. They don't know what to make of it. And put your best foot forward on that. And it's a privilege being an instructor here, and privileges can be revoked, and Jub will happily revoke them. So that's pretty much all we have for you today. Phase White is going to do its thing starting this week. So a week from today, we are pulling the trigger. It is full send. Ginger, you asked good questions about recruiters. Obviously, let all the recruiters know kind of what is going on with that, so they have the proper information. But shortly here, we'll be changing around channels. So, I'll leave it up to Jub to let you know what you can be on the lookout for. And everybody not in the UTC Discord, you'll probably get an invite shortly. Jub?
Do any of you guys have any more questions regarding anything? With any of our wonderful phase white changes and how the integration is going to happen, and make sure that we are completely on board of how UTC itself, like how we're choosing instructors, all that stuff. Everyone's good. No questions. Okay. All right. So with that, I'm taking the understanding that the vast majority of you have a very decent understanding of what's going on. So I will take that, and
Who are we kidding, Jub? They're going to have a ton of questions throughout this whole process. Just if you have questions that come up, just come ask us.
yes, please. Anytime questions happen, please come ask. Especially kind of going back to touch on what Smiley said. If you guys see anything that you think has a kink in it that we have overlooked or we just haven't really gotten to yet, please come bring it to us, because we have basically gone through and made sure that this will be able to function. There are definitely some small things that we have more than likely overlooked, and if that's the case, it is what it is. We have went through and we found as much as we could that we thought would be an issue. So if you guys find something and you guys keep running into a wall, please come find myself, Bridger, Smiley, anyone. Anyone. You got Ethan now as well, who's our wonderful Phase White lead. You've got Odd, who's Phase Blue lead. You've got Neb, and you've got Zoro. So plenty of people that you guys can come bring this stuff to. As soon as you find it, bring it, and we will try to fix it as soon as possible. Because there's obviously always going to be hiccups, especially whenever we do something like this. But again, just as long as we are all communicating, we shouldn't have an issue. I like to think that we operate very highly and function at a very high level, especially now that we are eating and incorporating BCT into Phase White.
User disconnected from your channel.
So the fact that we are able to do these things is very important, and
User
it
joined your
shows
channel.
that we are all doing exactly what we need to do. But other than that, I've got a couple other things. There might be some little weird things now. Now that we have taken BCT and we have Phase White, just so the new people know, which we'll go over this for the new juniors, and so all of you guys know this is exactly what I am expecting. Instructors, you guys know the rules of whenever people come to your class, they have to ask permission. You have to give them permission in order for them to come, observe, do whatever they want. Or not whatever they want, but come and observe and participate in a UTC class. That is going to work both ways. It's the same thing how we've always had it with Phase Blue. If you ever wanted to go to Phase Blue as an instructor, you just had to ask the Phase Blue person in charge, and you just kind of show up and you observe and you hang out and you be quiet and you just observe. It's going to be the same thing. All of the UTC instructors, if you want to go to Phase White and see exactly what they do, Ethan has told me that is more than willing to let everyone come as long as people are not trying to take over training, trying to train, or any of this other stuff. I showed up to one of the last BCTs that we did last week, and I just sat there quietly and watched people do stuff. That's all I did. The only time I talked is whenever Ethan directly involved me in something. So that's what the expectation is. If you guys show up to something like this, you're just there, fly on the wall until they physically say, "Hey, Merlin, what do you do whenever a grenade gets thrown at your feet? Run away." So stuff like that. Phase White, guys, this is also going to you guys. You guys are able to go to UTC classes, but it's the same exact thing that whenever they come to you guys. You have to ask permission. Once you get permission, you're just a fly on the wall until someone specifically tells you to do something or to be a part of a little bit of the demonstration or whatever. If you are not qualified to be teaching in Phase White, do not be teaching anything in Phase White. If you are not qualified to be teaching anything in UTC, do not be teaching anything in UTC because there have been plenty of issues beforehand that have gotten very interesting and gotten a lot of people in trouble. So that split needs to be there. If you want to be a UTC instructor and you are in Phase White, come have a chat with me. We'll figure it out. But until then, do not just go and start doing things. That is not what we do. But that is kind of the ground rules I wanted to lay out for everyone in Phase White and everyone in UTC. We have new friends and new things that we can go do. Please make sure that everyone is basically acting with respect and you are not going in and stepping on toes. If I find out you are stepping on
User
toes,
disconnected from your channel.
it's not going to be a fun conversation. So please, for the love of God, I don't want to have a conversation. We're all adults, so let's act like it. The next thing is, as of right now, there are only a select few people, kind of like what Bridger said earlier, of people who are Phase White instructors and UTC instructors. That is not a full thing right now. We need to touch on that a little bit more as a command staff to figure out what exactly we want to do and how we want to do that. So there are only a few unique cases right now, like Bridger said. So I'm not gonna fuck anyone out of the C shop. And I'm not going to make the new people that we took on as instructors choose whether they want to remain Phase White or if they want to remain UTC. I'm not going to make that choice or make them make that choice. So until we come up with a better plan, just sit and wait. If you want to do both or find a way to do both, then let me know. And I will keep track of it in my head. But other than that, that is kind of the big things that I wanted to touch on with that. Kind of like Bridger said, we have a very huge responsibility. We are literally dealing with all of the new people now. Anything that involves a new person in game, we are taking care of. They all belong to us. Another big announcement that I want to make. So anyone in Phase White and our new instructors, you will learn this here shortly, and I want to reiterate to all of our existing instructors. New people belong to us. They all do. Every single one of them. That means all of the shit that happens in UT or not in UTC, in FunOps, where people are
User in your channel
giving
timed
them
out.
a hard time, making them do stuff that they don't want to do. It's big unit, big scary shit. Making people lead for no reason is stupid. We need to be better leaders, so I'm going to start that from here. All of them belong to us, like I said. So we need to be their friends, like Bridger said. Do not encourage and do not let all of the nonsense and fun ops fester and become issues. I am sick and tired of hearing it from everyone.
User entered your channel.
Everyone's always saying, oh, people are making CRs do this, making cadets do this. I don't want to hear that shit anymore. It is our job, and I'm starting it with us, that we are going to start taking care of all the new people. And there's a fuckload of us, and I know that there are a good bit of you that are in here that do frequently go to fun ops every now and then. Zeus them as well. So please keep an eye out and keep an eye out for our new people. That is why you are in Phase White. That is why you're in Phase Blue. That is why you're in UTC in general. It is because you want to help the new people. Do not let fun ops continue to spoil the new people and push them away, because that is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And it's been going on since I was a CR. And I'm sick and tired of seeing it. So help me. Whenever I go to fun ops, I try to make sure that there are not any CRs or UTC cadets that are struggling. I try to help them as much as I can and give them a fun environment to be around. That should be the goal for all of us as well. But if there are consistent issues, bring them to me or bring them up your chain of command. I really don't care how you do it. As long as the information gets to me, I don't care. We need to be able to start fixing this, not just from a from a little standpoint here and there of just fun us, but just as a community, it needs to be better from everyone to the new people. That is a huge sticking point that has been with me since I've been a CR. So, but other than that, that is really all I have on the big Phase White stuff and taking in all of the new people, Phase White and UTC or cadets, recruits included. Odd. Before I forget, do your Phase Blue thing now, because I'm about to talk about another quick thing. So do your Phase Blue stuff now. Odd's there.
Caught me in the middle of eating. Hi. Yeah, I got 2 announcements to make for Phase Blue. The first one is I'm still currently looking for people who are interested in joining Phase Blue staff. I have only myself and Morg as the Phase Blue staff in its entirety. I'm looking into doubling that number. So to any instructors or senior instructors that are interested in trying out Phase Blue staff and stuff like that, hit me up in Discord, DM me, do whatever. And I will try to get in contact with you. That's my first announcement. 2, I have I would say the first half of this doesn't really apply to most of you, but I have reworded some of my questions in the Phase
User in your
Blue
channel
written
timed
test,
out.
so that they are just a little bit more clear to understand, and just to make sure that I'm looking for specific things and the answers are a little bit more specific towards what is being taught. That being said, please make sure that you are following the curriculum correctly and not just glazing through some things. Some of the questions on there I get consistently wrong because they're not getting they're either not being taught the information or they're not retaining the information that's being taught to them. So please make sure that the cadets are retaining the information that's being taught to them
User entered
and
your
being taught
channel.
the correct way. For example, one of the consistent questions I'm getting wrong is the indirect fire. Like, what are the 4 things you need to do for indirect fire? All of us should know this. It is to, contact everybody, spread out 30 meters, get cover, and then kill any sort of immediate threats or spotters. I'm not getting any of those answers.
User in your
So
channel timed out.
please make sure that those 4 things are being taught and being retained so that they can pass their written tests. I'm tired of holding their hands through these questions and following through with these things. I want them to be, I want them to know these things. Okay? Everyone okay with that?
Got it.
Yeah.
All right, sweet.
Alrighty then. Is Ethan back alive? I saw Ethan packet lost.
Oh, you packet lost again.
Shit.
I gotta get going. Have a wonderful rest of your day, guys.
Bye,
Yeah.
The next
User
thing is going to
disconnected from your
be
channel.
Phase White guys. We will get you guys in the Discord here very shortly. We already have tags and everything laid out for you guys.
User joined your channel.
He's back.
Haha, there he is. Ethan, do you have anything from yourself? While you're taking a lovely country road drive through the beautiful country that is Ireland.
Nah, he's taking a shit.
Ethan?
Those are 2 very different things to be doing right now.
Microphone activated.
He's shitting and driving at the same time. Give the man some credit. It takes a lot of focus.
Very inspiring.
Microphone
Ethan. Thank
muted.
you for your wise words.
Whoever
User
said
in your
guys can't
channel timed
multitask.
out.
Oh, poor Ethan. Okay.
Oh, he died.
Well, that's unfortunate. Okay. Well, other than that, Phase White, we will get you guys in. Actually, here, you know what? Fuck it. I'll do it right now.
User entered your channel.
Alright. So, Phase White, if you guys, or even if I somehow missed any of you wonderful instructors, Phase White guys, go ahead and join that link, and then go into the tag request and request Phase White staff. I think that's what it's called. Or, bro, did we name it Phase White staff or just Phase White?
Phase White staff.
Okay.
Oh no, it's just Phase White. Yeah,
It is. Okay,
the actual physical tag is Phase White.
Okay.
And then yep.
The channel staff.
Yes.
Okay, that's
It's just like the Phase Blue tags.
Oh, okay. Now, like, for whatever reason, I can't remember how we did it. So, Ethan, I don't know if you can hear me or if you might packet loss again. Go ahead and start getting your. Oh, that's unfortunate. Go ahead and get the rest of your boys inside of the Discord, and we'll get their tags figured out. I don't think. I don't think I'm missing anything else. Bridger, Smiley, am I missing anything?
Make sure you request tags and change your name in Discord.
Oh, giddy, dokity. Bridger, you live?
Yes, hi.
Am I missing anything?
No, seems you've covered everything. And if anybody else has any questions, I think that we're capable of picking some answers for them.
Cool. All right. I am looking. That's good. That's good. We will be making last couple things. We'll be making a huge, or not a huge, but a unit-wide announcement here shortly, kind of informing the rest of the unit of what's going on. So we will be getting everyone a fun heads up on kind of what the new process is. Once we go from there, like I said, we'll change the channels in the main Discord. Then I think that's about it. I don't want to tell all of you guys to go away because I feel like I'm forgetting something because that's generally how this works. But last thing is Bridger says, or not Bridger, Kestrel says hi and sorry that he can't be here. He has real life shit going on right now, but we've all been spearheading the shit, kind of keeping everyone in the same loop. So Kestrel says sorry that he can't be here, but he is very happy with all the stuff that we are doing, and he's happy with all of our new guys that came in and all of our wonderful people that have been in UTC and continue to do all the fun, awesome things that you guys do. My brain still hasn't found anything, so if I miss something, fuck it. I will make an announcement for it. But other than that, Phase White guys, you guys are good to go. Juniors, you guys are good to go. Instructors, you guys are good to go. Senior instructors, stick around for a second. Everyone, and seniors and up, stick around. Everyone else, you guys are free to dip.
User left
Thank
your
you.
channel. User disconnected from your channel.